Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Welcome to the flea market today. We're here, we're on a Thursday at the flea market, which is one of the busier days to come at the flea market. And we're getting everything started here. It wasn't a good morning. I woke up with a headache and I got a little slow start on my coffee. Got the motion going, so I'm waiting for things to kind of pick up as far as my head goes. Uh, but nonetheless, we're going to get out there. We're going to get sourcing. Don't pull too much today, but I think we do get some good quality items here. And we're going to hit this first part of the flea market, which I don't usually pick up too much from the beginning of the flea market. Usually either priced too high and or just not good items right up here. You can see a lot of Bane Meadows. That's a little racetrack, horse racing track. Kitchen items here, so we're gonna move along. And this first part, I try to get through this first part pretty quickly, but I still want to keep my eye out because I do want to move towards the center. There is one guy here on this side that I do always like to stop at. He deals in a lot of tech and electronic stuff, so I have found quite a few good items. Some computer networking stuff, and also found some iPods, and he prices them pretty well. So I definitely want to go check that out. And I want to get moving. I also want to get a new cart. The cart that I have now is, I think the thing that locks the handle in place is kind of loose just from us using it. And it just doesn't want to stand all the time, so sometimes it falls on me. And you'll probably catch that in a few in this video here. But still not as many vendors as there typically are here at the flea market. Things are a bit slow for the vendors, so maybe they'll translate less stuff, but we'll see. Like I said, my head just wasn't in the game today, so maybe that was the reason why I didn't pick up too much, or maybe there just wasn't good stuff. And I really didn't feel like digging through anything today, so I was going to kind of just scan the surface, look for stuff to draw me in. This lady here, this vendor here, she has had a lot of good stuff in the past. She does price rather high, and she's always shouting out good deal or good deals. I think it is in Spanish. And so, but the deals aren't really that great. At least on the stuff I'm trying to buy. But I have found a vintage computer graphics card, which turned out to be a great sale. And I find an old, it's like a Palm Pilot, but it was by HP, brand new in the box, and I sold that one pretty good. That was several months ago. So there is good stuff, even the ones that don't usually offer great deals. There are times where you will find a great product on the floor, on the tables. Typically here at the flea market, the better stuff, those that have tables, the better stuff would be on the tables, and the stuff they consider lower end will usually just be on the floor on a blanket or something. I'm coming over here to this lady here. She usually has some good things on the table, and she does price a lot of stuff, usually at $1. So on the tables here, clothing, I'm not sure how much she does the clothing for, but I don't really shop the clothing there. But a lot of her hard good stuff is $1 each. So real nice lady. Can't remember her name, but she's always on moving stuff. She wants to get stuff moved, get stuff out of here. I talk about these designer purses. How I typically don't source them from flea markets, but it was just sitting on the table, and I considered possibly buying it, but it just had a lot of condition issues, and I wasn't going to go through the motions of trying to quickly authenticate that. But I have gotten some great stuff here for $1. Stuff that it doesn't resell like crazy, but for $1, if it's selling for 10 to 15, I consider that a win. So I'm scanning everything, just taking a look. A lot of shoes, a lot of women's shoes there. I don't typically buy clothes at the flea market, so just because a lot of the vendors they'll just have them piled up, and then you just got to go through it. And I want to move through pretty quickly, look for the items that I really like to source and list on eBay. So we're coming back down to this aisle. Sundays are the big days here. Sundays are usually pretty packed. I've actually kind of reduced my the time I'm going to the flea market on the weekends, only because it gets so busy. Right now, it's pretty hot where we live, and I don't know. I just kind of want to relax on the weekends now. Now that my schedule's kind of changed, so it's allowed me to go to the flea markets and source during the week. This guy over here with a yellow table, you gotta watch out. He does sell a lot of. I mean, he doesn't call them fake, but it is like fake Apple stuff and fake watches. And he doesn't come out and say they're fake, but once you look at it, it's fake. I'm seeing here. I'm spotting this Hello Kitty. Messenger bag here. I'm gonna scope it out really quick. I'm gonna check the tag, make sure it says Sanrio. But anything Hello Kitty, usually pretty good. I'm gonna check the prices here, and he tells me it's $3. So I'm definitely gonna scoop that up for $3. I'm not gonna pass that over. With this guy here, this vendor, I have picked up.
How much on this one here?
I have picked up.
Three. Okay.
Patagonia. He's had Patagonia backpacks here, and he prices them everything he prices like below $5. So real nice guy. He prices everything very competitively, ready to move. So that's what I am looking for right here. Someone that's willing to move items and price them, so that way I'll make a little bit of money here. I'm noticing there are some. After picking that up, I looked up and I noticed there's some people here. They're resellers as well. They sell on eBay and they do sell at the flea market, and they're primarily into Disney stuff. So very, very competitive here. Lots of resellers.
Thank you.
And be prepared to negotiate at this flea market when you're here. So I was kind of zeroing in on the product and I didn't see the other guy that was there, the other reseller that I know of. So we are moving on. I'm just scanning everything really quick, make sure there's no deals. I see the other reseller guy there looking something up, so I'm just kind of a little intrigued as to what's going on over here. What is he trying to look up? Alright, but I really don't see anything. And then I think he was trying to look up that cantina thing, but I wouldn't have looked that up. But I'm moving on. We're getting out of here. We're moving on down the rest of the line here. There's a guy right behind him. He's there almost every day reselling, and I have bought stuff off his tables, but the stuff I buy doesn't really. The stuff I purchased, I should say, from him doesn't really move very quickly, and it's I don't know. It's good stuff. I purchased good stuff that I've had comps, but they just don't seem to move very well. So I pretty much pass up his tables. He's really good at going through his stuff. So the stuff that's on the tables, it's already been gone through and searched by the guy. And he'll have a table on the back side, which are usually the high-end items. And the stuff that's out there on the tables is all, I wouldn't say reject stuff, because some of it is still pretty good, but definitely been picked over already. So anything that'll be easy profit is already been, generally has already been picked over. So looking at some I don't buy tools or anything. There are, I think maybe at most flea markets there are tools, lots of tool vendors, and I don't really deal in tools or anything. So I'm scanning through all these little electronics. I see some controllers there, and I see that there's a PlayStation 4 right there associated with those. So I'm not buying any consoles right now. It's just testing them and make sure I have all the cords, and they're not really selling too good at the moment. Consoles, that is. The games are definitely selling pretty well. So when I do find games, I will get them listed, and they do sell. But as far as consoles go, everything's kind of moving a little bit slower. Look for the accessories, look for the games. Those are the things that are moving well right now. Another vendor that definitely has a lot of stuff, and I have purchased stuff from before, but again, it's just not. A lot of these vendors in the front, I have definitely bought stuff from them, but it's just stuff that just doesn't, I don't know. I mean, I see some comps and think it's gonna move, but it just doesn't. It just sits there forever. So, and I try to, I definitely try to get the best price possible when I'm, especially at the vendors in the beginning. I'm trying to get the best price that I can possibly get, because I'm already aware of the fact that things I buy from these vendors, for some reason, they just sit there for a while. So I don't know. And then vendors that I know that I buy from and things that sell from them, I tend to buy from more. It's just kind of odd how that works. But I'm checking out a few things on the shelf over here, the tables over here. There's some toys and some Legos. These Flash Gordon toys, they don't really sell very well. I probably should have taken a second look at that Batman animated figure, but my head wasn't in the game today. So Batman animated does do pretty well. And actually, I will be grabbing some vintage Batman animated stuff. Loose figures towards, I think, the middle of this video. Towards the video or towards the middle. I combined video and middle. So here I'm moving to the clothes. Lots of clothes to go through. So if you're a clothing person, there's plenty of clothes at this flea market. I don't like selling clothes. I don't like really dealing with them. But I will if some months I may feel a bit differently, and I may start picking up clothes. We'll see. Hats, I definitely like picking up hats. So I definitely will look at hats. Hats have been slowing down a little bit, so I've been slowing down my buying on hats until I move some along. As a matter of fact, I've been moving quite a few mugs as of late, so a lot of my mug storage is really cleared out. So I have room for mugs. I'm not really buying mugs, but I definitely have more room for mugs right now. And let's see, we're coming around the corner. There's a shoe person that's usually on the end of this one, and I don't know. Not sure what happened to them. Some people still setting up. At this flea market, there's not really a lot of. It's kind of odd because usually people, you think of flea markets, everybody's there early at the crack of dawn setting up, but this flea market, they really don't open the doors for vendors until about 7. And I've sold here before, and there's a long line. You see the vendors that are out there. There's not too many vendors. It's not as busy as a Sunday, or not as busy as a typical Thursday would be. But the line to get in as a seller is it's crazy. It's just crazy. So, don't let the amount of vendors that are there fool you. There are quite a few vendors out there. This guy here has multiple spaces, and he definitely does sell a lot of stuff. This is the guy I was talking about. He has a lot of electronics and everything. I purchased a lot from him over the years I've seen, or I should say just the time I've seen him there. And he does pretty well. Yeah, he always gives me a good deal. There's a lot of clean outs and stuff, a lot of office clean outs. He does do storage units from time to time. And he will, a lot of people, a lot of the vendors, they'll have already 2 or 3 spaces or 5 spaces or something like that. But he buys spaces according to how much stuff he has that day. And he's been having quite a bit of stuff. So although some days he only has a little bit of items, so then he'll just be in one spot. So today's he is selling through this stuff, and I've seen a lot of this stuff already. He'll generally bring out a lot of the same stuff over and over again, but he has good stuff. I took a look at that power supply there, and I was going to open the box, but I opted not to just because I saw in the box it was an 80 plus rated, but it was just a generic 80 plus, so it might have been an older power supply, and didn't really feel like dealing with an older power supply like that right now. It's heavy. The box in for it, is going to be kind of big, but kind of slim, and it was an older power supply. And generally, with power supplies, those are power supplies for your computers. You want to make sure they have that 80 plus rating, but you know nowadays you want to have at least, they do different standards. So there's just the plain blank 1 rating. Then after that, you get bronze, and then silver, then gold and platinum, and I think there's even titanium. But you definitely want to look for nowadays with the computer components, the more modern stuff. You want at least an 80 plus grade. This guy over here was, I wasn't really paying attention too much to what people were saying, but I was listening to this guy because he was kind of loud, and he was selling some sort of a vegetable peeler that also cut the vegetables or anything, or even fruit he had there, into strands, kind of like spaghetti strands. And he was really promoting it. And the woman was asking him, or somebody was asking him for a price, and he said, "Well, just hold on, let me show you a little bit more of what this thing can do." And in my experience, if someone's asking you for a price, you better tell them what the price is, otherwise you're going to lose interest fast. And you've already got a small audience there. You might as well try to sell what you got. So it kind of works with, it kind of correlates with eBay when people are sending offers. Depending on how long your item is sitting there for, generally, in my opinion, all offers are good offers. And I don't really get, I know a lot of people I hear talk about lowball offers when they have offers open, but I don't. I get the occasional lowball offer, but it's rare. People's offers are generally fair, and that's what they can pay, which is why you need to buy your items as low as possible. This lady here, I'm gonna have to get her name, and I only seen her here recently, but I've been picking up quite a few things from her, and I'm going to pick up something here now. I'm just going to give it a quick look up really quick while I'm scanning these other tables. I saw some comic books. I just wanted to take a peek and kind of see what was on the table. Generally, comic books, I'd stay away from them. They're most of the time aren't worth anything, and usually people price them up quite a bit. $1 comic books even way too much. Very few comic books are actually worth what people think they're worth. So I spotted this little camcorder camera. It's a Samsung. It's like a handy cam. This is gonna be a sticky situation because I'm gonna have to I already knocked that over. It's a squat and reach position, so. It's kind of, so I noticed today everybody's stuff was the stuff I wanted to look at was kind of towards the middle, so I had to kind of tiptoe, and so man, it was one of these days.
How much on that camera?
Fall over.
Yes.
She gave me she said $10 offer on that, and comps are probably right around $70 or $80 on that. And I'm gonna take a gamble on $10, and hopefully it works. At least I should get my money back or a little bit more on parts. And it had the charger. It had a unique charger with it, and it had the charger with it. So, which also was like, all right, I'll do that. It takes the little cassettes, and also takes I think an SD card too. So that's a nice little score. So hopefully I can turn that into about $80 or so. We will see.
There you go. Thank you.
Make sure when you're coming to the flea market, you bring cash ahead of time. I don't recommend using the ATMs they have here. The ATM at this one too always seems to be in problems, broken, or just not working. So make sure to have cash with you ahead of time before you come to the flea market. Also, those ATMs that are at this place or any place for that matter, like you go to a festival or something, they usually have a pretty high charge just for taking out the cash. So you have to think about that when that's part of your price to come here, and if you're getting money there, that's a part of the cost here. It's built into the goods that you're purchasing. Not only the price to get in, which is pretty minimal, $1, but I think the ATM charges like $5 here. So now if you get money here, you're in the hole at least $6 just walking in the door. So now you got to find at least a $6 item of profit to resell to make up that loss. So another good thing, if you don't have any of your bank's ATMs within the area, or you don't remember to get cash, one good thing to do is to go over to the supermarket, and they generally will offer cash back at most flea markets. When you buy something, if you're using your debit card, you can get cash back, and no additional charge. But that's usually limited. Around my area, it's usually limited to around $60. So my recommendation is when you do that limit only applies to individual transactions. So if you grab a couple of things, like I've done on occasion, I come to the flea market, and I'd be like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna come to the flea market. I know I'm gonna get thirsty because it's gonna be hot. I'm gonna be walking around, so I'm gonna look for, I'm gonna get bottles of water. That's what I'll do. I'll grab a couple bottles of water, 2 or 3, and I will process them each as individual transactions at the supermarket, and then ask for the maximum amount of cash I can possibly take out. So that's one way to kind of circumvent the limit on how much cash you can take out at the supermarket, and also circumvent the fees that this ATM at the flea market, or whatever flea market you're at, charges you. That was a long explanation. I'm also combating the heat with my camera because it is a hot day, and my camera, the hotter it's been getting, the camera shuts down. It overheats. So I am combating that as well too. So I am shutting off the camera periodically. So you'll see some cuts here, just to kind of not just resolve the heat issue, but also prolong the battery. You can see here, I love to the left side. It's just a lot of what I consider just retail. They charge retail prices. It's a good deal because they don't charge sales tax. So usually it's about 5 to 10% less than what you would pay in the store here at the flea market. And again, no questions asked at the flea market. I don't ask where they get the stuff from. They don't ask. I didn't realize at the time, and probably because of my head, but that was a jewelry guy right there that just passed me up. He gets a lot of great Mexican, Native American jewelry, and we do buy from him quite a bit. And I haven't run into him in a while, and he usually will bring stuff with him, and he will sell at that time at this flea market. So definitely getting through here. This is not one of the best aisles here as far as sourcing items for eBay. You can see a lot of purses, a lot of clothing. I mean, is some of this stuff, is some of the purse and everything legit? I don't know, but I'm not going to take the chance. Squishmallows. I'm not a Squishmallow buyer. I see a lot of people buying Squishmallows online. Maybe they do well and whatnot, but for eBay, I'm totally off the Squishmallow bandwagon. They don't resell, and you'd have to get them like 25 cents or less in order to make a decent amount of profit on them. So, and then plus the they're some of them are pretty big, so you'll need some big boxes to ship those things out. So here we go. Let's see, we've got more tools over to the right. And the tools are heavy too, so a lot of you gotta think about storage as well when you're bringing stuff back home and listing them and shipping them out and storing them. How heavy are those things going to be inside your storage situation? So lots of stuff just thrown around. I mean, definitely, if you have the time just to sit there and start going through stuff, this is a great flea market to do. And we found some great stuff just searching through boxes, searching through what's on the floor. Great items. Great items. In this flea market, you could really find some great and hidden gems here. I forgot what I was looking at. I think I was looking over at those laptops and everything, just trying to get a sense of their age. I am always on the hunt for electronics and laptops and iPads. Not iPads. Like the Apple laptops. Always on the lookout for those because they do resell very well, especially some of the vintage ones too. So I don't know if they're considered vintage, but the older ones do really well. This guy here always has some pretty unique little collectibles here and there. I wasn't really seeing anything that I really wanted to pick up. I did see this Fenway Park sign. It looks like something kind of generic that you can probably buy on Amazon. I thought maybe it was something that he had picked up maybe from near Fenway Park. But I didn't see any age on it or anything, so I was like, it's probably just an Amazon thing. Some guys here along the side. Typically the people along the side I don't haven't purchased anything from before, so I don't really. I shouldn't say I haven't purchased anything from them before, because I have at some point probably bought something there. So here we go. Turn down the corner, and things are looking a little dead here. So a lot of vendors missing over to the left. A lot of vendors. I don't know, maybe it's just the time of the season, maybe it's the heat, summer, maybe people are on vacation. Lots of kids are still on summer break, maybe people are still out. And this guy here, a lot of electronics, a lot of good stuff. Overpriced, yes, but sometimes, you can pick some good stuff out here. And a lot of his good stuff is up closer to the truck, so I'm definitely going to swing by and take a look up there really quick. I just bought a Leatherman multi-tool up there, but he was asking $80. These are little tiny ceramic figurines. They're by Wade of England, and I really wouldn't recommend picking those up unless you get them really, really cheap and you're going to bundle them together, because typically they only bring about $2-3 a piece. So you're going to want to, if you find those Wade figurines, they do sell. They don't sell for great profit. So my recommendation is get them really cheap and bundle them up, and then try to move them. Because there are collectors out there. Actually, I know someone that collects those little Wade figurines. And we're scanning the table here, not really seeing anything. But this guy too, this guy really does, he goes through everything. So he knows exactly what's here and what he has, and he's going to charge accordingly, which is his prerogative, not for me to get mad at or complain about. It just is what it is, and move on to the next vendor. Definitely some interesting things. There's a lot of stuff on here to draw someone into it. I'm pretty sure he knows what he's doing and does it on purpose. There's all these tiny little billiard balls, and I might have picked those up, but I have a set of billiard balls that have been sitting around for about 3 months now that haven't sold, regular size. So I'm waiting for those to sell before I buy any more billiard balls. Luckily, I didn't pay too much for them, so it's not a.
No, I was just looking.
It just takes a
I thought it
little
was
bit
cool.
of space.
You do? Okay,
Not
cool.
too much space. A little bit of space.
Can I open this? Or?
A lot of great stuff here. A lot of good stuff here on this. Man, he's got some good stuff, but it's all priced up. And I was gonna check on that Leatherman, and of course it was $80. So
how much on this one?
80.
80.
I bought a Leatherman not too long ago, but I gave that one to my dad for his birthday. So. Cool Leatherman here.
Okay, cool. I'll come back.
But I'm gonna leave it.
I'll look around. Cool.
Maybe I'll come back for it. Actually, I don't come back. I was thinking at that time, maybe I'll come back for it if I don't really find anything else. And I didn't want to just spend all my cash on one item where I might only make about $20 on. I see some more tablets. So I'm taking a look at them. Nothing really that great. And tablets are typically not that great. I wouldn't really be picking up too many tablets. Even iPads, they're just not. They just don't bring that profit that you're really looking for. Especially buying them here at the flea market, untested and everything. You really got to give them a big bundle lot and dirt cheap, because who knows if they work or not. I saw an interesting camera, but that battery compartment thing looked broken, so I wasn't gonna mess with that. I'm gonna move on out of here. Spent a little too much time there. Just trying to get my head in the game here. Trying to see a lot of collectibles here, so I'm gonna definitely scope this guy out. Scope out what he has. And I do see some Star Wars that are drawing me in, but nothing too exciting. And then there was some Star Trek stuff in there, so Star Trek doesn't really sell too well. So, and people price them up quite a bit, so they, the toys or collectible toys. If it looks collectible, they'll add that extra collectible fee to these items. So, got to be mindful of what you're paying for your items, and hopefully, you're making good profit on everything you're purchasing. I see a cool little a metal. I thought it was a cap gun, but I just think it's just a metal and plastic play gun here. It's kind of cool. Looked older, but I don't think it was too old. And this one here has the yellow cap, so definitely that kind of dates it, so it's pretty new. So here we go. Let's move along. We're gonna move along. We see more clothing. Moving along, past up the clothing. Passing everything up. We're gonna get to this next section. One person I do buy from quite a bit, her name is Lupe. She's on the other side, so I'm definitely trying to make my way over there because I know she always has good stuff, and that I'm going to be a buyer at her booth for sure.
Everything's gotta go.
All right, we finally arrived to Lupe's section over here. She didn't do that one with the van there with the shampoo and stuff. She's right here with all these tools, and there's a bunch of bike parts. So she's a storage unit buyer, and her husband does primarily the tools, and she does everything else. And so this time around, I overheard her talking about buying a storage unit in San Francisco. That's where all these parts came from. So she's always turning over stuff. And that's what I really like about Lupe and those that are like her, that are storage unit buyers. They're constantly turning over stuff. So it's always fresh. It's always usually new stuff. She has multiple storage units throughout the Bay Area of California. First thing I'm picking up here, I'm seeing this little deconstructed iPhone 6s. As far as the iPhone 6s, it's nothing. It's an older model, not an iconic model, but this looks like a little piece of art, a teardown kind of art piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up, and I'm also gonna pick this up. I might either keep this or I might sell it. It's a little device that has multiple arms on it to help you hold. They just help you hold something that you're working on, and very useful, especially if you need to do any soldering or gluing of tiny little pieces, even painting tiny little. A lot of people paint those. Like more like you go to the game shop. There's like a Warhammer. Dungeons and Dragon figures, so that's what that is, and that's what I'm going to put in my cart over here. I'm just going to park my cart, put stuff in there as I see it, and things are looking okay. Not that great, but still some good stuff on here. Definitely not after the bike parts. Just not something I'm into. But batteries, you can always use batteries. So I see some C batteries. I'm gonna pick those up here. I think at the store those are probably about like $10 or $12 for that pack. So see this little some of these hubs, computer hubs, can be worth it. This one was pretty used and looked pretty a little banged up, so I'm gonna pass on that. So definitely taking the batteries and looking around. And she actually brings out some more batteries, so I'm gonna take those. I'm gonna take those batteries. She was signaling me for the batteries, so I'm gonna take those for sure too. Those are definitely come in handy, especially as a reseller. Batteries, or you're gonna always need batteries to test out electronics. So better to buy them when I can, so that way I don't have to run to the store at any point while I'm testing things out to try to make things work. Nothing here. A lot of bike parts. I don't know much about bikes, so I'm not in the bike part buying business. Maybe the tubes might be have some value, but then of course I see this box of all Apple stuff, and like, all right, I got some boxes maybe, but they were all empty. There was nothing in them. So sometimes you can sell those boxes. I mean, if you get them for nothing, you can probably sell them $5 to $10 a box. I have sold some boxes for maybe not that speaker, but maybe like older iPod boxes, and people wanting to repackage, or electronic stores will pick them up and if they have a refurbished product, they can repackage it in the original packaging. And if you have the original packaging, it appeals a little bit more to buyers. So you can see some cords sticking out over here, circuit board. I'm gonna take a peek really quick. Nothing. Yeah, that's like a DVD or CD burner. This mouse would have been good, but it was tore up. That's a Logitech MX Master mouse. And definitely would have been a good pickup, even if it does not have the dongle, because those work with Bluetooth. But the little pads are all ripped up, so I'm gonna pass on that. Back over here to the bike stuff. Nothing, not. But I'm a buyer. They're getting set up. It's still supposed to be pretty warm today. And then I see here some supplies, which I could use, poly bags. And that thing was pretty heavy, full of poly bags. So, and I bought. It's kind of strange because I have purchased supplies from her before. Way less, like a fraction of what they cost me at the store. So I thought that would be a good buy. I'm gonna go back around and grab my cart and put that in. It was just way too heavy to carry around. I'm seeing some stuff here, kind of from my era where I grew up in the 90s. So I'm kind of curious to do a little bit of digging. I still have a headache at this point. I'm still trying to kick that headache, and I'm gonna go after I'm done here. I'm gonna go get a Starbucks coffee or something, and hopefully the caffeine will help kick this headache I had all day. Pretty much almost all day. At least all day while I was at the flea market. So we're turning back around. Definitely giving everything a second look because you never know what you're gonna miss. And I definitely want to grab my cart over there so that way I can put that heavier stuff in there. Taking a peek. If you guys see anything here on this table, I mean, Lupe sources a lot of great stuff. So if you guys see anything here that you think I should have picked up, let me know in the comments. And that way I can learn, and hopefully you guys learn, and we're all trying to make profit. What I grabbed there was actually a case for an earbuds. I think it was an older version, and those cases do sell pretty well. I just sold the case not too long ago for about $20, so I'm gonna go ahead and snap up that case. It was pretty dirty, so I'm gonna have to clean it a little bit, put a little bit of time into it cleaning, but it should be $20-25 for that replacement case for some earbuds. All right, so I got my thing here. So that arm keeps popping off, and it's kind of annoying me. I either got to get a new one, or I had a bungee cord in my car. I think I lost it. I don't know what happened to it. So you see this thing I passed over a couple times. I'm going to take a look. Turns out to be a gimbal brand I'm not too familiar with, but I am going to look it up just to be sure. So I'm going to wheel this over there. Not bad. It was in good condition. So I don't know. I don't know too much about gimbals, but this one I'm probably going to keep it just because I am doing some more more vlogging, more video content, and this could come in handy for if and when I need to film with my phone. So I'm gonna this will be a keeper if I do purchase. I keep saying if I do purchase it. I've already been there. I'm gonna purchase this, and it's gonna be a keeper. So I don't know. I'm just not crazy about you gotta download an app for it. I'm hoping there's something else that I could possibly do. I don't know. I'm just kind of leery about these companies I don't know about anything about downloading their app. So I'm just gonna do a little more research before I actually jump in there and start downloading a new application on my phone. So we're coming around. I'm actually looking out for Lupe because I want to settle up with her, and I want to put these poly bags in my cart, and I don't want to crush everything that's in there. So I'm going to get things sorted and moved around. When you bring a cart to the flea, as you see me do, you have to leave it behind because you can't take it up and down a lot of these aisles. So one thing I do to kind of, everything around here is kind of honor system, but there are some people that have had things stolen from them, and or sometimes it's just been just an accident. Someone will walk away with your cart. I've had that happen. There's no harm done. But one thing I do is I always bring a bag along with me, so just in case I'll either throw items in the bag or use the bag to kind of cover things up, just so my stuff isn't out there for everyone to see.
This stuff here. Like I'm gonna give the
There
bag.
You go, we're talking to Lupe here, trying to get
bag.
everything straightened away,
And I got this guy. Like this one here.
Oh, that one.
she's gonna tell me $80 for the gimbal and
Let me look it up really quick.
$40
I
for
might
the
maybe you
stuff
check
there.
that.
Let me check. I got the battery. I got the little.
I'm gonna go and pay the $40
case, and then this thing right there.
Okay.
because some of that
How
stuff
much was
is
this stuff right here?
stuff I'm gonna use here in my
40?
reselling business.
40? Okay.
And then I could probably make that
Let me
money
just
back
look
with
this up.
the
I'll
other
make-
I'll make
items
you.
I have there.
Okay, you check.
So
Sure.
I'm gonna look this up really quick. She was
Cool.
telling me $80 on it, so I'm gonna look it up and just see is it really worth about $80? And I didn't look up the exact model number right off the bat. And good thing, I'm gonna shoot her an offer here, $40 for it. So what I was just looking up the name brand and gimbal, and the comps were a little bit all over the place. Some of them were looking like $150 and more. So I was like, ooh, that's actually, I don't know, maybe I'll resell it. I don't know. if I'm paying $80 for it, I'm gonna try to get my money back. Um, but I'm just unsure as to what it would sell for. What's a good offer I can make? You know, I'm looking at that guy right now. He's digging through that cooler right now. I probably should have opened that up. Really, it's kind of cool, and maybe I'd recommend videoing yourself, whether you put it on YouTube or not, so that way you can see what you're missing. Either way, I cut that part out of there. I didn't want that camera in the. Again, I had the camera on. I would have turned it off if I was doing the deal. I didn't want the camera in interface. Just courtesy, but I wasn't. I'm still dealing with a headache at this point, so I wasn't thinking right away. So on the gimbal, I ended up making her an offer of $40, and she was cool with it. So I said sure. So $80 for everything in my cart from her that day. So I'm definitely for $40. I'm going to keep the gimbal now, and I'm gonna use it. And like I was saying, after I looked up the model number when I got home, turns out that one only goes for about between $40 to $60. So the offer I made was fair, and it's going to be something I use. So I was happy paying, close to almost what it goes for on eBay. She pointed me over here. She said, "This is I have other stuff over here. If you want to take a look at it." She knows I don't really buy tools or anything, so I'm digging through this little section. Definitely gonna try to buy some more off of her. She's really she's nice, and she really helps everybody out. A lot of resellers buy from her. I know a clothing guy comes, and she always has great, I guess vintage. I mean, I don't go through the clothes, so I'm pretty sure she has great vintage clothing. And there's a guy that comes and buys from her pretty regularly. He gets there earlier than I got there today, or earlier in the day than by the time I'm there. So sometimes when I first get to the flea market, I won't, just make a beeline straight over to Lupe's section just to quickly see what she has. But lately, I've just been starting out at the beginning and working my way out there. So I find some toys here. This is Tron toys from 2010. And some Batman animated stuff. Remember I was mentioning earlier I should have taken another look at some animated Batman stuff I saw on another table. But I see some stuff here, and all these little figurines, I've already comped them out, and they turn out to be right around $15 a piece. So not sure. There were some Tron like little action figurines. Not sure. I haven't comped those out, but the vehicles are about $15 each. The Tron and the Batman. So I'm definitely going to scoop those up. Not sure if it caught on video, but I'm scooping up some pins as well too. I see some stuff from 1998 baseball All-Star game. That one didn't have a pin in it. That's from these are old vintage pins. That was from a gas station, a local gas station, and they did like this pin giveaway with a certain amount of gas you would put in. And it was San Francisco Giants and Oakland A's. I thought this was kind of interesting. I was gonna pick this up, whether fortune telling based on your birthday. It was clean, neat. There were some comps on it, around $5 to $10. Nothing crazy, but I might just keep that. It was kind of cool. See some more keychains and pins here from 1998 All-Star game, baseball All-Star game. So. And then some Olympic pins, which I'm gonna snatch up, and we'll see. I think I ended up paying $10 for the rest of this stuff here. So I'm gonna scope everything out. Yeah, so we've kind of moved on here from Lupe's little section here. I'm moving on down the way, and I see some Star Trek figurines. My camera kind of started overheating here, so I cut out a little second. I did stop at another booth, but it was uneventful. So jumped over here, saw a bunch of little trinkets here. This guy at his booth, nice guy. Everyone's selling their stuff. Everyone's trying to make money, but I can't pay the prices he's asking for a lot of this stuff. Turns out to be close to what I would get for it on eBay. So. But I'm still taking a look. Again, designer stuff. I'm gonna look at it, but it looks legit to me. But I'm gonna probably stay away from it because it's a flea market, and this guy would probably charge quite a bit for that thing. That's the box, the dust bag. Sometimes these dust bags can do pretty well. I have sold Louis Vuitton dust bags. I remember I picked up a Louis Vuitton box. It was like $1 or $2, and I sold each dust bag for $20. So definitely the dust bags, if they're authentic, look out for those as well. And this is nothing over here. Nothing for me, that is. So I'm moving on. We're getting down to the end of this section here. Some more goodies over here. Some bar stuff. This is that same guy, so I don't feel like... there was some stuff I was thinking of jumping into, kind of negotiating with, but I wasn't feeling it today. And the sun, too, is definitely playing an issue. I see that Mario Shy Guy. Just thinking of kind of buying it for myself. It was $5 or under 10. I probably would have started negotiating, but she said $10, and it was a modern one. And in my head, I was thinking, I'm not going to pay that much for it. So I'm going to put it back. That lady's asking also about something else, and plus these people are tough negotiators. Well, they're not really negotiators. They just don't negotiate. So
How much on this one? $10.
So yeah, I'm gonna put that back there. And we're gonna go ahead and move on down to the last aisle of this front section here. We're gonna move on down. We're gonna shoot on down to the end here, and get down to the next section. There's a middle, and then one over. What we call them. There's a new middle section this day, so I'm not gonna take a look through the middle section because I'm typically not very lucky there. So I'm just gonna walk on down, hopefully to the other side where that big screen is straight ahead, and just get right beyond that. All right, this guy right here has a bunch of stuff over to the left, but there's almost no negotiating with that guy. So I just pass him right up because he charges a lot too. This lady over here, she has some great stuff all the time, some great stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't make it out there before her dollar sale, and once the dollar sale hits, boom, you get walls of people everywhere. So I'm just trying to find a space where I can look, but it's really... My head wasn't in the game, so I just wasn't... I didn't really feel like dealing with all these people. And I came back around, too. I went around the other side and tried to get back into it, but it was... Nah, not doing it. Just wasn't feeling it today. But she moves a lot of stuff. She has a lot of great items. She has clothing. She has a little bit of electronics. She definitely has game stuff. She has game systems. I'm going to try to cut in here and try to take a look at these hats really quick. And the reason why I always stop at her booth and take a look at the hats are because last year I found some vintage True Religion hats. And I got them each for $10 a piece. And those sold for several hundreds of dollars. I still have one more hat I'm going to sell. But I've already made a few $100s on those hats, so I'm always going to pop in there and take a look from now on just to see what she has. But she does get great stuff. Real nice, a little bit of a tough negotiator as far as, she's definitely open to offers, but yeah, sometimes, usually what I'll do is I'll ask, how much, and then I'll get a sense of, should I even make an offer? Is it somewhere? Am I going to be able to make an offer that is going to at least start the negotiation process? Because also I don't want to, offend anybody with my offer. I've had numerous times where people have said, "Well, just make an offer. Just let me know." And I said, "No, I prefer this. I'm good. I don't need it." I'd rather, instead of telling them $1, that's how much it's worth. I'll just move along. I'll put it down and move along. So. I'm gonna take a look at the rest of this aisle here, the rest of this section. Turns out not to be very good. And the middle section was kind of, I don't know, it's kind of taken over by a bunch of plants and stuff like that, plant vendors. So, but if you are looking for plants, there's a lot of great plants at the flea market. Definitely a great place to shop for your house decor, fruits and vegetables. You know, you really can't beat it here at the flea market. The price and also the quality is really great. So, also a bread person here that does some great bread. I don't think I get them on video at all. They're towards where I kind of end my trip. So, but they do have some great French breads, freshly baked, amazing stuff, great prices. But I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here and show you some other stuff I picked up. So right here, I spot a Lord of the Rings, like deluxe collector's edition DVD set with statue, and I am trying to pick all these up. There's 3 of them. I already have the initial Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Rings, which come with 2 bookends. This one comes with the Golem statue, and I'm gonna pick that up. That's for myself. Hopefully, if it's a reasonable price, I'm just gonna pay it. And she does tell me $15 for it.
is this her size?
There she is. I thought it was the other guy, but it was hers. So, and then she was asking me about she was telling me about some other stuff, and I think Super Mario was what she was telling me about. But I told you, I just don't necessarily buy Super Mario, but I do like
Mario?
fantasy and action adventure.
I like those.
That Lord of the Rings, I'm trying to complete that collection of those collector series with the statues in them.
Thank you. You too.
That one I'm picking up for myself, and hopefully the profits that I make from the items I get will pay for the stuff I'm buying, for not just what I'm going to use to either make videos or for my reselling, but also the stuff that I am collecting. So this is the far end of the flea. That other section that's empty over there to the far right, that one gets filled up on a Sunday. So this is still not the complete flea market, and it's still missing a lot of vendors. All these stalls are usually pretty filled. Could be the heat, could be because it's towards the end of summer, I don't know. But we're coming around the end here and just taking a peek at this stuff, but nothing really I buy here. I'm going to shoot over to the middle section, and I'll walk through it a little bit and kind of show you guys what it looks like. So here we are in the middle area of the flea market today. There's a jewelry bar over to the left. There's a lot of sterling jewelry and stuff. And come around the corner here. I kind of walk right by all the plants and everything they have right there in the beginning. More plants over to the right. Little retail shoe vendor over here. So a lot of just a lot of retail stuff on that side, and they charge close to retail prices. So definitely not a buyer, even though they're great shoes. I'm gonna come up over here to this guy, and I spot something on the table. I'm definitely gonna pick up. Thought I might fit one of my cameras, but it's an OEM. Not that OEM Canon battery. I have no connector on it, so it's like, it's not USB. I'm not really picking it up. But there we go. There's an old Canon battery with the charger. The battery looks pretty good condition. Didn't look inflated or anything. So
how much for the
I'm gonna pick this up just in case
10?
in the future. Well, I tested it out with the camera I have, and it doesn't fit. But I'm gonna hold on to this for the future in case I ever come across a Canon camera that will fit this battery. And I have the battery. I have the charger. And then maybe we throw a bundle deal. I don't know. We'll see. But it was $10. And I thought that was a decent price for a OEM battery and charger. If not, I could probably sell it for 10 to 15 as well too. So yeah, this guy has a bunch of electronic stuff, and
thank you.
Everything here is usually pretty clean. It's priced up a little bit. As the more and more you go to maybe your local flea market, you'll learn the different vendors. You'll know who's you can negotiate with, who you can't negotiate with. Which stalls you're gonna get the best deals, or are they gonna have the best stuff. And so, I've been coming here for years, so I'm already aware of the process. I know who to deal with and who, I may potentially not deal with. So, but we're coming to the end of the trip here. I really don't find much of anything else. And again, I'm looking to get another cup of coffee in me to help with my headache, which is going away at this point in the video. But in my last video yesterday, I just want to talk a little bit. I'm not going to do a recap in this one because this is going to be a little bit over an hour already. But you saw the items I got. Leave me a comment down below if you guys have any questions, anything you guys want to. You guys see anything that I should have picked up? Is there anything that maybe I picked up that you haven't seen before? Is this video helpful? But I did have some slow sales coming up, and I know there's a bunch of videos, and YouTube has been recommending a bunch of videos to me. A bunch of videos about slow eBay sales, eBay conspiracy, promoted listings, or whatever. Yeah, everybody has their own opinion on what they should be doing. But I have, legitimately, I've had slow sales, and you really have to think about it. You have to think of yourself as a retail store, and a lot of retail stores go through slow times. Now, what can I do to combat those slow times? And I've said this before, and I'll say it again: is be in different categories, because some categories are slower than others. Offer great prices, accept offers, free returns. Really quick, none of this stuff here I'm going to be picking up. This guy charges a bit too much for everything. And sometimes he's negotiable, sometimes he's not. But I'm not, I'm not in the mood to negotiate today. So a lot of good stuff here, but I'm not picking anything up. The prices are too high. But just think of yourself as the customer. What do you as a customer want? You want the best price. You want options. If for some reason this isn't working, I want to be able to take it back. I just took a vacuum back to Costco that I've had for 3 years. 3 years, and suddenly the vacuum dies. Legitimately, the vacuum just dies, stop working. What does Costco do? They take it right back. Give my money back on a gift card, and I go right back and buy a new vacuum. That's the service I want. So, and that's the service I've come to expect, especially with Amazon in the business now, and their pricing, their availability, all that stuff. So put yourself in a customer's look at things from a customer's perspective when you're selling stuff on eBay. You're like, don't get so stuck on, I'm going to try to make the most money on everything that I have. I'm going to ask top dollar for this, and someone's going to pay it. Would you pay that top dollar? Would you be on Amazon, looking for the top, the best? I'm going to pay $150 for that. And when other people are offering at a better discount. Okay, you're offering the best. Maybe you're offering a higher price, but do you have free returns? If anything goes wrong with this, can I contact you? How quickly can you ship it to me? Can you get it to me, in the next few days? Amazon will get it to you sometimes next morning. So, the one takeaway from this is think of yourself as, when you're listing items, when you're, eBay's not, you think eBay's not working for you. Think of yourself as the customer, because there's people buying stuff. There's people out there. They're buying stuff all the time on eBay. What did I do? I had a few days of slow sales, and by slow sales I mean under 10 a day. I was still having sales. It was just not as much as I was anticipating. So what do? I'm like, all right, I'm gonna lower some prices, and I have some items that was sitting around, Legos, and I'm gonna offer them at a great deal because I got them at a great deal. So I'm gonna offer a great deal. I'm gonna list these things in bundles, and hopefully, that'll help start jump starting things with, whatever the algorithm is looking for in eBay's eyes, and sure enough, I listed a bunch of Legos. They all got sold really quickly, and then all of a sudden other items started selling. I started getting offers. So good deals, get things out to customers fast, offer free shipping, not free shipping, you don't have to offer free shipping, offer free returns, and You know, those three things. If those don't work, then start complaining. But if you guys have any other comments or anything on that, let me know down below. Either way, that's going to wrap up the video for today. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, subscribe, and like. That really helped me out.